Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
Hey everybody, it's Dominic D'Angelo. It is RVD TV, RVD's YouTube channel. We are live. It's a Thursday night, and I'm here with Rob Van Dam and Katie. We got a lot to talk about this wrestling day. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
You're not gonna make him guess after episode 132. He decided.
Yeah, 100 and I think it's 14. This is 114 episode.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
And they're all 2 hours long, so at least 2 hours. So y'all have a lot of time invested in this.
I know, right? It's crazy.
It's a lot of hearing me talk.
Yeah.
It is a lot of time.
The wrestling all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's good to be with you guys.
What is that, baby? Because I just did my 360.
It's a video game.
I never. I never seen. They got my 360 dropkick. Like I never seen that on a game or even anyone else do that.
I'm gonna
try. It's like a spin kick, except for it's with both feet, obviously.
Oh. Is that the new game, Katie? It looks like the new.
I don't know. I just put on Rob and Hogan, and I know that like other sources are gonna flag it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I just figured if it was a video game, someone uploaded it would be okay.
That's a good call. Smart move. Right? Yeah. Well, that's news today, obviously.
Crazy things. Yeah. I got up this morning to work out like I do in the middle of the night often. So I got up like 4 and I made it back to bed just a little after 9. And right, around that time, which, we're 3 hours behind Florida. So it'd be like noon there. I can't remember who gave me the message first. It was a link to the TMZ report. And anyway, that was not that you need to know my whole schedule, but I went back to bed. Oh, there it was. Yeah, the 360 duck kick. Sweet. I appreciate that. Thanks for noticing, whoever made this game. And whoever wore the gimmicks to be RVD, the sensors.
Oh yeah.
All that shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to tell you, but I think I sent it to your Xbox, and then I was like, well, that's stupid. That's probably the last thing she's gonna check. But yeah. And then I went back to sleep, and then when she woke up, she was like, I remember I had earplugs in. You're like, did you hear about Hogan? And I was like, hey, what? And I was like, oh yeah, I did, because you were probably like laying there like while I was sleeping, thinking, I wonder if he knows.
Yeah,
right?
Because I just read the message from my mom telling me what happened. As soon as I woke up, I read her message first, and then you were sleeping, so that's why I wanted to wake you up. I figured you didn't know, or else you would have told me.
Yeah, so I didn't catch you awake. But so, this is a question that I wouldn't answer before out of respect, that I got asked a lot of times. And it's one of those, ask me anything. If I don't want to answer it, then, I won't answer it, or I'll give you a no answer that you think answered it. But the question I've been asked a lot is, who's the most famous person that you ever smoked weed with? And I always say, out of respect for him, I don't think he would appreciate me. He would say, keep my name out your motherfucking mouth. Anyway, dude, that would be Hulk Hogan, who I think is at least a top contender for the most recognizable man on the planet. I could be wrong. I don't live in Zimbabwe, and maybe, it's different there, but not only because he's had the same look forever and been the immortal that he has, but he also, hey, I don't dance.
They made you do a jig.
I did a jig, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, the jig
Jig threw you off.
But you don't live in Zimbabwe, and Hogan's never changed his look.
Yeah, and
so.
I was just what I was gonna say was he also stands out in a crowd like a sun, like a ball of fire because of his colors, and he's also a giant, you know. So anyway, I think probably there's a good chance he might be the most recognizable man on the planet, and that's what I've always said. I said that to him one time we were at TNA Universal Studios. He said, "You're crazy." And I was like, "No, I mean, who else, you know, who do you think? Like President Obama?" But, you know, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, not a real exciting story, but one time, for some reason, because we lived on the West Coast, Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan, and Rob Van Dam took a private jet from a charter jet from the West Coast to Raw or SmackDown. I don't remember what the show was, or if I was a regular on the show, or if I was maybe gone in a special appearance. I really don't remember what that was. Although somebody, I think YouTube Chris asked me recently if I remembered being on a, yeah, he did. I don't think I answered the question but he asked if I remembered that we all took a plane together. Anyway, we did the show, and after the show, TV somewhere on the East Coast, New York-ish, and Eric wasn't riding back with us, and I don't know why, but so it was just me and Hulk in the limo on the way back to the airport, and then in a plane that we slept on across the country, and at that time, you know, like I had hung out with him, you know, and worked with him. But I hadn't smoked with him, and I didn't know. I kind of figured, hey, cool, spit like a so I kind of figured, you know, he's kind of high profile to be doing this. But we had the limo guy.
You said wee.
We had the limo pull over on a sidewalk, and we went in at this Chinese restaurant. Only thing we could find open. Super late. We're starving. We ordered a bunch of Chinese food. And then we're outside, standing on the sidewalk, getting some air, and boom, there goes again the 360 duck cake. Anyway, I said, "Bro, I'm gonna light up a doobie. You know, I'm just giving you a heads up. You know." And he was like, "Well, we'll light it up, brother." And I was like, "Oh, you know," and I fucking smoked it and handed it to him, and he fucking hit it. And I was like, damn, okay. I just figured since he's recognizable like the president and at the time it wasn't cool in the legal sense to stand out on the sidewalk and smoke, you know. So I just, you know, I was surprised, even though it was like nobody was out, and it must have been really late and it was dark. And like I said, it was the only thing open. So, but anyway, you know, we became closer friends, but he's always been cool. Before or after the Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Championship Wrestling, which if you don't know what that is, it was a reality show. I had a lot of fun with it, and I liked the concept with it, you know. And Eric Bischoff and Hogan and Jason Hervey, you know, they did this production company together, and they were doing all kinds of stuff. It looked fun. Everything they were doing did. But this was a reality show where celebrities went through wrestling training course, and then judges would vote on a competition every show and vote somebody off. And it was so much fun, which I know I've said that several times, but we had 3 Todd Bridges. What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
Brother Willis,
Oh.
not Arnold, the older brother.
Okay.
On the show, on Different Strokes, and then but we had Tiffany. I think we're alone now.
No, really?
Yep, and Screech from Saved by the Bell, Dennis Rodman, Butterbean,
Danny Bonaducci.
yeah, Danny Bonaducci, and there was another female too.
There was Nikki Ziering, Tiffany Darwish, Erin Murphy. Erin Murphy, who was she? She was in
Right.
Bewitched. She was in Bewitched.
Okay, she might have got voted out before I did my show, maybe. But anyway, it was a really cool concept, I thought, for wrestling fans. And they'd have different wrestlers come on for different episodes doing like cameos. Boom! Eat that! And have a purpose that had to do with the lesson for the day that the wrestling trainees would be learning. When I came in, the lesson to learn from that day, it was the finishing move. And so when I was there, I worked with all them on them having a finishing move, and learning when to showcase it, when to drop it in and build it, and boom, 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 all that. And so anyway, I don't know if that was before or after I smoked a doobie with them outside the Chinese restaurant. Really, it seems like it was around the same time. So maybe, I don't know. Anyway, he was a spiritual brother when I was first exposed to The Secret, and was tingling with the magic that book sometimes delivers. And you're living in the magic of life, and it's like you're high from it. And he was one of the people that I would talk to about it. And him and Eric kept inviting me to this church in LA that Muhammad Ali's daughter went to. And it was one of the, or maybe even two possibly, of the hosts / preachers were authors from the book. The black dude, one of the black dudes, I can't remember his name right now, and I don't want to get stuck trying to think of it. But anyway, that was like something that we all bonded over. I also remember when I did RVD Radio, and this would have been 2010, when Hulk Hogan called, and we had him on the air, and that's, I believe, on my YouTube page as well. Talked for the longest time, and he called to pitch me coming into TNA because him and Bischoff and Hervey were there to take it over, and he was saying we need to have RVD there, and he was just so cool then because first he called my cell phone, and I said, hey, do you mind calling into the station? I gave him that number. He called in. And he let us talk on the air, and he was just hanging out, bullshitting with us, and putting me over too. Me saying, well, it's definitely worth considering, because I was a hot commodity, and I was off TV by my own free will and intentions, and that was something that I knew was one that TNA was interested in bringing me in, and also shit. I mean, I keep watching that match, and it's
He's been taking heat the whole match.
I knew that TNA wanted to bring me in, and
Hogan was with you on the radio.
Yeah, no, that was what I was gonna say. Was just Hogan had put me over big somewhere, I think, in an interview, and it was him saying if he had, and this was before he came to TNA, he had said if I had Rob Van Dam I built the whole company around him and make a lot of money with him. And this was after my ECW run, you know. So that was sometime, well, I don't know. Let me not get stuck on trying to get the chronological order right. But this was like, I didn't know him that well. I knew that I was, you know, incredibly stoked. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulk Hogan, the guy that was everything that was wrestling when I grew up and motivated me, and you know, him putting me over, saying that they should build a whole company around me, and then when he called me into or when he called the show, I knew that he had said that probably shortly before that, I don't know, and then also that TNA was interested, and it was just, you know, he let me have a huge head and be like, well, I'll tell you what, maybe I'd consider coming to TNA. What'd you say your name is? Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan. Got it. You know, not really, but it was an enjoyable moment though, and you know, I did end up coming in, and then I ended up. You saw that picture somewhere you showed me of me and Hulk Hogan in the ring, and I'm on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
I was knocking them out of the park, doing these shoot promos during that time, because I was just tapping into something legit, you know, that was there. And I was like, you know, what happened, Hulky? You said that you wanted to build a whole company around me because you saw my talent and I was money, and then look what I'm doing. What did I disappoint you, Hulky? What happened, bro? Did you change your mind? You know, and I brought that shit up, and I was having fun with it. And then I don't know what I said, blah, blah, blah. And then I like threw the microphone at him. I said, we can't all make a living off doing one fucking move, brother, or something like that, you know. And he was heel at that time, you know. In TNA. And that's the closest I came to actually working with him in the ring. Although he did trip me in the match when I wrestled Abyss, right before I kicked Abyss. No, right after. Boom. I think I kicked Abyss in the mouth.
Oh, that was the same match?
It was the exact same moment. I fucking ran and hit the ropes through their own thunder, and he hooked my foot. And I can't remember what happened after that, but that's the only time I actually worked with him.
But personally, we've seen him a lot lately. Like we just saw him a few months ago at Nick and Tana's wedding.
That's right. I remember you guys went. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went there for my birthday party the year before. We celebrated my birthday with Hulk at Hogan's Hangout.
Yeah.
Every time we were in town, he would say, I can't believe y'all are really here. He was really happy when we'd come visit.
Yeah.
And he'd drive us around and welcome us in his home and his gym.
Oh,
and
wow.
At his restaurant, he was so generous, like ordering everything on the menu, and never let us pay, and like hooked us up with all these shirts. He was very, very generous. Yeah. So it was fun. I'm glad we got those times with him, hanging out in Clearwater and at Hogan's Hangout. And then I got some photos from it too.
Oh,
yeah, I like the video.
With Bam.
Oh yeah, I saw that online. That's so cool.
Yeah, that was just a few months ago. And then
I like the video in his backyard when he says it's Katie Mania.
Oh yeah.
Running wild.
Great photo.
That's a shitty Hulk Hogan voice, wasn't it? I used to.
Yeah, we were looking at a video that he made of when I went there for my birthday, and we were in
what you gonna do?
His backyard, and he was like making a spotlight on me, and I was dancing, and yeah, that was really fun.
Did you guys ever attend one of the karaoke shows that he did?
We weren't there for karaoke night, but we were there when Nick was DJing.
Oh, okay.
And we got him hitting the thumbs.
Hitting the thumbs too. Oh yeah, look, I saw that too. That's great.
Yeah, he loved Rob, and Rob loved him. And like when Rob would like go to the bathroom, he was like, "He is so solid."
Brother, dude.
he had, when the first time when we were there for your birthday,
Mm-hmm.
he actually did the thing where he was like, we're drinking, for a long time and shit. He actually did the thing where he stood up and said, "Here, lock up with me." Like that's something that that's just, like, can't believe that like actually happened, because that's like a joke. Sometimes me or Sabu would say that. Yeah, me or Sabu would say that sometimes, when it's inappropriate, everyone's getting high, hanging out in a hotel with their feet up, and they'll be like, "Hey, lock up with me, bro."
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, it's like a wrestler joke. Like Bubba even said that to me at a convention. Like we were both by each other, just standing by each other and talking, and saying, "Cool, yeah, whatever." And he goes, "You want to lock up?" And I said, "Yeah." And then we like both laughed, and.
But you locking up with someone is like a bulls running at each other. Like something's gonna get broken.
He wanted to feel how stiff I was, and that's why he wanted to lock up with me. And he said, "Brother, I could have made some money with you." And I'm like, "Shit,
how do you think
money?"
How do you think you would have done you and Hulk? Would you guys had good chemistry? Guys could have told a good story, I would have thought, right?
Dude, I don't know, because I don't know. I mean, he could have just been talking shit. I know he's not known for stretching the truth or anything, but he could have meant it, or he could have just been talking. But he was saying that we would have a great match because of the way the crowd reacts to me and stuff. And I know that I love like what him and Rock did at WrestleMania 18 in Toronto, working the crowd. And I was just like, I haven't seen that match since then, but I just remember the littlest things would mean so much. And they'd just be looking at each other. And it seems like one of them would just maybe even look, not even a full look, but just look with their eyes towards the crowd. And it would get like a pop, like a big fucking crazy double gainer off the top rope nowadays, and it was educational. And also it was just awesome to be there in that building and feel that and watch them and see the energy and the storytelling without all the physical crazy aspects to it, because it wasn't needed or necessary.
Everyone copies that now, where they look at each other and then they look.
Yeah,
this way.
I've never heard the crowd react and be as connected as I heard during that particular match. And maybe they have since then. There's probably been some great moments and with Cena and whatever. I don't know, but yeah, boom, that 360 drop kick. I love it. Like that's an RVD original that I should shut my mouth. Someone's gonna say, "Hey, you know what? That's right. I should take that." No one else is saying that yet. What's your face could do it?
Kalani.
Jordan.
Kalani could do it.
Yeah, for sure. Probably for sure. Anyway, Hulk was cool, and I just, let me address this particular point that I would like to bring up. It's RVDology, right smack in the middle of the show. Okay. I want to remind people that we all have our own values. People's values don't need to match yours for them. Like they might be fine with their own values, and that's the way it is. And I just want to point this out because basic thinkers have a hard time thinking from that perspective. They can hear me say it, but let me explain it this way. Like, personally, I hated when I was a kid in school how I just hated being like when you're in school, those are your first thoughts. You are a basic thinker. You repeat things that you heard other people say because it sounded smart, even though you don't have any idea what it means. I did that too late in life for my own satisfaction. When I think about some of the things, and I was like, dude, like I didn't know who I was yet. The line of LFG. But anyway, like take this for example. Like I remember in this would have been fifth grade, I believe, and there was a kid, and probably shouldn't call him out because you know, he might be listening. Love you, bro. But anyway, man, you know what? I got along with him. I enjoyed his conversations or whatever we had in common. You know, I would talk to him and shit. And then when I wasn't around him, the other kids, they'd be like, "Ooh, what are you doing hanging around him? Bro, he's not popular. Nobody likes him. You know, you're gonna if people are gonna you're gonna be unpopular if you hang around him, man." Girls like, dude, don't I wouldn't do it. He doesn't have any friends, bro, just you. And as an adult, that should sound really stupid, right?
Right, yeah.
If it doesn't, you know, I always talk about how you got to reprogram as an adult at some point when you're ready, because your values that are programmed into you aren't from your own experiences when you first get them when you're a child, and you live with them through these growing years. And then as an adult, you have to reprogram yourself. Santa's not real anymore, as I always say.
What?
Yeah. So the thing is, you know, with other kids, trying to decide not only who you should like, but even like, you know, even if it's fictional, or, you know, ooh, why do you like Wolverine? You know, everyone likes Wolverine. That's so stupid, man. Deadpool would kick his ass. Whatever it is, it's like, bro, you got your values. They got their values. You know, you think she's pretty? Dude, he says that she's pretty. That fucking mole on her face? Gross. Dude, if she's pretty to him, she's pretty. And guess what? You got your own values. So when it comes to Hulk Hogan, I noticed that there's always been pushback. Like when I posted the video of us together that she was just showing you when we're hanging out with Bam and whatever, like there was a few people, of course, there's always going to be haters, but I know some of them that are watching this that hate him, and that's fine. Those are your values based on whatever. But there'd be some people, not a lot, but there'd be some people that would stand out for their ignorance in my mind, because they'd be like, dude, man, I thought you were cool, but man, you fuck around with that guy, I'm gonna unfollow you. Like, do it, motherfucker. There's no difference than being back in 5th grade and being an adult when it comes to that. And I hope you can see the correlation.
Sure, yeah.
And even if society is telling you that you should have these values, guess what? Fuck society when it comes to some of that stuff, because you have your own priorities, your own values, and you're always going to be biased towards your own feelings. So you're always going to feel like you're right when there's a disagreement with somebody else, when there's a clash of values. Now, if somebody says, yeah, but he was a racist. How could you hang out with a racist? Well, those are your values. That has nothing to do with me and my feelings on races. You know what I mean? And let me ask you, do you hang out? How can you hang out with that wife beater? Yeah, your friend's a wife beater. Dude, what if that, for me and my values, is something that I wouldn't get past? I'd never hang out with someone like that beats their wife. Fucking isn't a man. I think that you have a right to prioritize your own values just like I do, and we can still meet on common ground. And I have worked with and been associated with, business and personal, with
Murderers.
Yeah, racists, murderers,
Child molesters. Probably.
Child molester, you know, yeah. And whatever, Republicans, Democrats, Jews, Christians, you know, Catholics, probably Scientologists, you know, whatever, and none of that affects me or makes me different, except that I'm exposed to it to some extent just from being in society. So, you know, hold any of that against me that you want at any time, because all of that is true and a lot more. You know what I mean? I have been associated to some level with all of that and plenty more. And that is part of who I am. Now, when it comes to how about other people's values? How about like you are who you hang out with? Okay, yeah, when you're a kid, that comes back to the reprogramming. When you're an adult, you've heard me say many times, I'm an introvert. It's 1,000% true, right?
Yeah.
I hate to leave the house now, and really, I don't enjoy socializing to the extent that most people do. I find small, meaningless conversation to be a waste of time. You know, a lot of times someone's asking me questions that I just don't want to answer, and it's like, man, I really don't want to be having this conversation. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, I get it when you're single and you got to start somewhere and then build from there and try to build a relationship or whatever. But
We
you know,
never went through that phase. We were in love, and it was deep conversations from the beginning.
yeah, and so because of that, I find that being out in public for me is like being in a pool of currents that are everyone's values pulling and pushing and trying to pull you their way or whatever, because people's values come out in their conversations. And that, for the most part, is why I don't enjoy conversation that's going nowhere with people that I might never see again.
Yeah.
It's your values come out, whether you say, you know, I hate Chinese people, or, you know, really direct like that, or if you're just, you know, you're telling a story and then you're like, oh yeah, and then her boyfriend was one of those, or whatever it is, or you just come out, you know, and you say, oh, yeah, I got to tell you, man, we got these goddamn left wingers there. You get what I'm saying? Your values come out, and even more so, it seems like with men. Which is why I always like to just hang out with females, and I'm the only man that's allowed in my house ever, because it almost feels like competition, you know, like people are like with guys, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, like with alpha males, we're judging each other by the responses, you know, and it's like, ew, I don't want to do that. I got nothing to gain on the, and so anyway, these are some reasons that I explained that I enjoy being an introvert, because it's so much work and stressful when I'm out there. Now, you know, at the conventions, it's a bunch of wrestling fans, and they're all just, you know, it's great meeting everybody, and we know what we have in common. I mean, they're there to see the whole damn show, and I'm there for the fucking photo and the story and the love.
The good energy.
Boom, yeah, that's a great moment. But out of all those people, so many of them that think, man, I'd love to be alone with you, dude, just smoking a doob for like 3 hours, man. What would that cost? In reality, you know, it's quite possible we don't have the same values. Just because we like weed doesn't mean we're going to meet on everything. And when I'm an image and I'm famous, you get to fill in all the blanks, because you don't have to know the real me in order to get something from my work. Right. So like, you know, like, hey, man, RVD, man, I grew up watching you. I fucking love you. But also the things you don't know about me aren't getting in the way. And it could be as simple as, you know, like, hey, I don't want to go hunting. You know, I don't want to be outdoors. I don't want to be in the woods. I don't want to be killing animals. That's not for me. Fuck no. And that it could be something like that just we don't have in common. Or it could just be guys bond in a certain way that to me is too, I'm going to get heat for this, but for me, some of the bonding is too gay for me. And what I mean by that is that guys, and when you're younger and you are learning who you are and building yourself, then I guess it's more practical, maybe necessary. But definitely where I'm at in life, no. And what it is guys getting together, drawing the line, and saying, hey, bro, we're here. Women are on the other side. And it could be something, you know, just like I had Barbie in my arm, and I went into a store the other day, mechanic, and the guy at the desk, he says, man, dogs are great, man. They're more loyal than women sometimes, aren't they? And now, like, automatically, like, that's an invite to join the I Hate Women, you know, and then share our fucking our horrible stories of how we got fucked over. And a lot of guys are like that. That's their perspective. But for me, I feel better bonding with a female. Like, man, I could have gone on that road when I started with All Japan Pro Wrestling. It was Dr. Steve Williams. He was going through a divorce and obviously feeling fucked over. And I just remember him on the back of the bus screaming, "They're all whores! They're all whores! Fuck them all!" And this was during the gimmick drop pills in their drinks stage.
Oh no!
Where there was some of the guys that obviously were having bad luck, let's say, with their relationships. I believe Danny Crawford was going through a divorce or something as well, and he always seemed so depressed. And man, I could have got with that, and and I'm glad I didn't. You know, one thing that's really gross to me is when a guy will judge a girl to me as if they're automatically putting us together, and then
right.
Like a hot girl walks by or something, and the guy judges her and says something like, "No, I don't know. She might be all right for a blowjob. That's about it." Like, ooh, bro, you're trying to have a bro moment with me. I want to grab her hand and walk her the rest of the way across the parking lot and protect it from creeps like you.
Right? Yeah.
If that makes me not cool, then I'm not cool.
Yeah.
But that's gross.
Even the guy at Walmart one time was trying to do that with you, and there was like a lady that was like pretty, but then she had a baby that was crying, and then he was like, "It would be a no for me."
Oh.
Like, you even have a chance with her.
I know.
That would be a deal
I can talk to a guy and be like, "Dude, have you ever been to fucking wherever, Jamaica? Like, man, they got the girls, boom, boom, boom." But I'm not. But it doesn't feel like I'm burying them, and I can't do that. Like, bury women and just want to be around bros. I actually, the very first time, I think it was the first time. It was that I was in a lesbian club. Ooh, the evil ex was with me, but that's all I'm gonna say about her. But she was wandering around or whatever. This was a big ass club in Santa Monica, and so I was like, "That's cool. I'll just drink and try not to look creepy when I'm looking at all these girls making out together." Like. But anyway, I ended up finding a place to sit, and I had a beer and I'm drinking, and then this dude sits down and goes, "Oh, thank God, finally another man." I was like, "Bro, I'm not gay." He said, "Huh? No, I'm just saying another man." I go, "Bro, get the fuck up. Don't sit by me." I already knew I hated him. I didn't want to have a bro moment with him. He ruined the night I was having, because I was like, "Wow, this is cool, man. I'm like a fly on the wall," and like it wasn't like I was being spotted. No one, you know what I mean? And it wasn't about me, and it was just like, man, some of these girls look really good. That's cool. They fucking think they look good with each other too, And then this dude sitting down wanting to talk about football or something. Like, get out of here, bro.
Did you catch the Ravens game?
Yeah. You ever fucking wake up with one of these bitches and you don't remember her name?
Oh man, I know. I get skeeved out sometimes when guys like try to do that. Like, they'll be like, "Oh man, check out that girl's ass over there, looking real good," and shit like that. I'm like, "Yeah, I'll look at him on my own time." It's just like, you don't gotta tell me.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck, dude? Come on.
And I guess that kind of bonding has its place somewhere, but I'm not. It's not here. Not here. If you're bros in a fraternity or you're, like I said, or you're young and you're still, learning, like, do I like that? Do I like a big ass or a small ass? But eventually if you don't reprogram yourself past that, then that's something that we don't have in common. Is I don't want to know you in that way, and I don't want you to know me in that way.
Right.
Get your sister. I'll talk to her.
Shut up with your sister movement. How's that sound?
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a great point, though, Rob. Is just like, people have their own values. They look at things a different way, and like, it's people don't consider that. Like they're just stuck in their, kind of what you would say your basic thinker bubble almost, where it's just like, this is the life I lived and this is the beliefs I have. So somebody else will see it that way, or they'll agree with me. Where that's just not the case, and it's just like, and everybody has their flaws and their gray areas, and like that's humanity. That's being a human being, and it's just like, you take that for what you will, and if you interact with somebody and you get along with them, it's just like somebody else may not, and people should not necessarily judge just based off of that, pure and simple. It's a lot to go on, and you see all the kind of reception that Hogan's getting online right now, and Twitter's not a real place, but it's just like people just spurt out stuff, and like people are celebrating his life. Some people are like condemning him and all that kind of stuff. It's just it's all over the place. But I just think it's sad. I think it's sad, and none of us would be here if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan. It's just the business is completely he completely changed the business, and in so many different ways. And somebody in the chat here, I'd have to really dig to find it, but they mentioned too, it's just like he had one of the greatest baby faces run, obviously with Hulkamania, but the biggest heel turn of all time too. And both times he changed the business. It's just like nobody would be appreciating wrestling right now to the level that it's at without Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, it's amazing. He was the man when I grew up. I guess I started watching, I think WrestleMania 2, or maybe I just caught the hype around the first WrestleMania, possibly. But yeah, it was all Hulk Hogan, and there was times when I rooted for whatever heel was against him. When it was Hercules Hernandez, he had him up in the torture rack, and he was bouncing up and down, and Hogan's head went up and down, and Bobby Heenan was saying, ring the bell, he gave up. And I remember having that footage, showing all my friends, look, he gave up, he did, look at him, he's giving up right there. And they're like, no, I think he's just shaking his head. And, we believed in that shit, man. He made me believe. And I was, rooting for Hercules. I even rooted for Outlaw Ron Bass when he was going against him. And whoever had that spot, I was such a mark. I would fall right into the program they wanted me to, and go with the storyline and be ready for that fucking main event, Saturday night's main event, fucking always. And he taught me how to be a superstar. All of us really taught us, like watching him soak up that energy in the ring, in the middle of the building, what he does with that electricity, that inspired all of us. And I was telling Katie outside of the ring too, he taught me, goals on how to live as a retired superstar. I mean, I would take his life as far as this goes in a heartbeat. He said he was just like, brother, he goes, I live right down the street. This is the town I grew up in. He said, I just come here every night, hang out at the bar, restaurant, watch Nick spin the fucking records, whatever, DJ. And he said, I can take a golf cart home, or I can drive. He said, I know all the cops I went to high school with and everything. I don't ever leave the beach. I don't ever want to leave the beach. So if somebody wants me to leave, it really takes a lot. And I'm like, I love that. Like, I fucking love that. And I feel that way as well. I don't live on the beach, but I don't like to leave for unless it's worth leaving for. And just, man, I was just telling her, what's your name? No, I was just telling her, hey, can you imagine like if like his part of the restaurant is up for sale, and and we like buy in, and we end up moving there to raise our kids in Florida and run the business, and
That's my goal.
that would just be awesome. And then she started saying, "Let's buy a house too." And like, "Phew, man, give me Anyway, my point being, give me that life he's talking to me about like that. He gave me like goals to reach for, and I watched how he handled himself being, the man that he was, the superstar, the legend, the icon, and it was everything was learning the spirits, and just it's really sad that he's gone. He had so much life in him.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to say that.
He did.
And I feel really bad for Nick, and of course Sky, his wife, and all of his family and everybody. But man, we know Nick really well, and know how much Nick idolized his dad, as he should. His dad is the coolest guy in the fucking world, you know. And I just feel bad for him. Haven't talked to him. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely such a sad kind of situation. I like, you think about Hogan and how and I was saying this on a previous show. It's just like he was a comic book character come to life, and it's just like he's like a Batman, a Superman. People looked at him in that way and everything.
That's what Katie said earlier.
Right.
Yeah, in person he seemed like a caricature almost. Like he looked like a superhero action figure. How tall he was and jacked, and his big blue eyes. It was like weird hanging out with him because he is such a legend. Like that's like seemed weird because it seemed like hanging out with like Superman.
Yeah, it's so like household name. It's like I was saying too. I was like 5 years old. I remember having a little Hasbro figure of him and everything like that. And it's just like, and there
favorite of Nick and Hulk.
Oh, look at that! See, man,
cute baby.
How about that? That's in the WCW days too. Wow,
is it?
How about that? But it's
couldn't without the training, saying your prayers, and eating your vitamins. I couldn't have had the 3 T's to success: training, tanning, and toking.
That's it. It wouldn't have happened.
Training, tanning, and toking. That's you.
Yeah.
The thing I always liked about Hogan too, even when he wasn't able to wrestle anymore, like he would always tease that he could get back in the ring. Like he would never sell. I'm done. He would always still sell it up that, he would always not rule it out, which I appreciated about Hogan during the.
But his brand is just worth so much that there's always things you can associate it with, and make business, and that's what that's what he did. That's another thing he taught me, is it's like the brand of Hulk Hogan. Fuck, people want to put that on vitamins and on gyms and restaurants and beer and whatever on there. And just like with me and the weed and but also action figures, all of that. It's all just like it's our brand that we built by being us. I just bumped the referee. I didn't know I could do that. And anyway, when you think about his deals are multi-million-dollar deals because he's fucking Hulk Hogan, and that's his brand. And they won't. I can't imagine there ever be another Hulk Hogan. I mean, now that the ceiling has been busted open by him, there's probably a lot of guys that might compete with the dollar, but it's more like an average. I think it'd be more like an average than it would be like, even an average for the top elite, but more so than like one standout. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I'm just saying, if Cena can do it, maybe Roman Reigns can do it, and this guy and that guy too. But with Hogan, like he was it. He was the Hulkster.
And he was out of everybody too. I mean, you can go back to Bruno and all the sellouts that he had at Madison Square Garden and over the course of time and stuff like that. But Hogan was the first to do basically everything. Like when it came to like just being that global star and the marketing aspect of it all. And to Rob, to your point too, it's just like I was watching a Johnny Carson interview. He was on Johnny Carson during the Rocky III. Hogan was. So this was like 1982, and like. He's talking back then about Hulkamania really early on, and it's just like he's already marketing it out and like kind of to what you're saying, getting that brand out there in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and then he's got the little plastic dumbbells for kids to work out in. Hulk Hogan, remember those?
Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
Everything.
What toys did you have of him?
Well, I had the thumb wrestler.
I had one too.
Yeah. I can't remember what else. There was thumb wrestler with him and with Roddy Piper. But I don't know if I got any of the action figures or anything else as far as a toy.
They were probably too old at that point for that. You're probably like 17 or something when that
maybe
90 or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah. He was born in 53. I kept seeing that year. It kept coming up.
That's the crazy thing too, Rob. That's my dad's age. Is 1950. He's like literally only a few months older than my dad. And
I think Chuck Zito said the same thing. There's an interview with him on YouTube that did you see that?
Yeah, you did the flash and then like the camera like froze you and
did a Matrix like 360 view or something when I was in the.
That was epic.
Wow, do you know what game this is?
SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. So this was one of the games that I had.
Oh, it's old?
It's old. It's like from 2002.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's 2002. This was the games we were playing when I was playing as you, Rob.
Okay. SmackDown versus Raw, when everyone says.
SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, this one is.
SmackDown versus Raw is where a lot of fans told me that they played me on that one.
Yeah, that's like 5 years after this game, probably. I'm saying I know that, but yeah.
How old was your dad when you were born?
He was 32, 31 maybe, 31 I think. And
your dad was Hulk Hogan's age? You're older than I thought.
Yeah. I'm 40, so he was, and my dad right now he's 71, so he was 31 when I was born. So yeah, it's wild to think. It's just so wild, like. And that's another thing. I was having such I was a bigger fan of Hogan when I was a kid growing up, and like I more turned to like Scott Hall and other people later on. But like this hit me pretty hard today because it was just like, wow, he's synonymous with how I'm a fan and everything like that. Like he still looked like Hulk Hogan too. That's the other aspect.
Yeah, always. We were always amazed at that. He looked the same. Fuck, man, I was there WrestleMania 3 when he body slammed Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
And I think as a fan, I believed that he was like the Incredible Hulk and could just lift whatever he wanted, you know?
Yeah, right?
I don't remember seeing anybody with arms that big before, you know? I mean, although now when I look at Tony Atlas and shit, bro, holy shit. Old pictures of Tony Atlas. I don't know why I was looking at those the other day. They popped up, and I was like, "Holy shit, that boy was big."
He was one of the first body guys too.
Oh yeah. How did we not notice it? I guess. Yeah, I don't know how. Somehow we missed that just because they weren't pushed. I think at the right time, and so like for me when I was watching it, like if I saw him, I think he'd just be getting jobbed or whatever, and I think somehow you don't notice because you're caught up in the hype or something, because I remember Rick Rude being the first guy that I remember seeing, and the Ultimate Warrior, that were just quality, fucking muscle and no fat and just ripped, big and vascular at the same time. I don't remember seeing that, but I can look back and see it now. I don't know how I missed it on guys like Tony here.
I think Scott Steiner was the most jacked wrestler in history.
He was fuck. Yeah.
When I saw him for the first
time, with
that was like another level of jacked. Was Steiner back then. I'm like, holy shit.
Because I told Brian Cage I thought he was the most jacked wrestler in history, but he said Scott Steiner was bigger than him.
If Brian Cage is saying that, it's got to be true then.
He knows his stats of muscle.
Yeah, that's it.
I was listening to Mick Foley's talking about Hulk's death, and then he said seeing him, you never felt like it was the last time you were seeing him because his energy was always so young. Yeah, it's so true. Like I would not have thought that because he seemed like 21 years old at heart.
That's very true too. It's just like, and I only saw him very briefly. Like this was a couple years ago at Royal Rumble. It was at his beach hangout place. and like Eric Bischoff was there, Conrad Thompson, and then he made a surprise appearance and showed up, and like great energy, like just thanked everybody that was there and stuff. Just made a little appearance and stuff, and then got out of there. But you're right, like the energy made him look and feel younger. So
and he's like shots. Like he's like a frat boy.
But even the past couple, like the most recent interviews and photos that I've seen of him, it's just like he got the black beard back, and like it was like Hogan looks good. He looks good,
and he was jacked the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
must have been 2010 or 11 when I was with TNA. It was common news that Hulk had gotten back surgery recently, and I don't know if that was his 7th. For some reason, there's a number 7 in my head. But he had the gimmick in his back where he had a remote control.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And like you adjust it if you're going to stand up or sit down.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, well, my dad was getting that. And my dad asked, he mentioned, or maybe I mentioned him, whatever. But when my dad was around, Cal is by Orlando. So they used to come down to the TV tapings at Universal quite a bit, especially when I wouldn't go up there to visit, would alternate or whatever. But anyway, it came up in conversation. My dad said, I wonder, if Hulk would be able to tell him, what it's like, or if he had some questions or whatever. And I asked Hulk, I said, yeah, my dad's getting that operation or whatever. Brother. And he said, whatever he said, I said, you think if you had any questions or whatever, like you might have a minute to just talk to him or whatever. And he was like of course, and when I was at the studios one time in a big room, one of those rooms with the big tables, and I was sitting there with my parents because they had come down, and Hulk came. He walked in and he had a big entourage with him, and they were pressuring him for time. They were like, no, Hulk, we gotta go down the hallway this way. And it was like, hold on, is that your dad, brother? And yeah. And he sat down with my dad.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna get emotional talking about this, but he sat down with my dad and just like he kept like it was like 4 or 5 people that were suit and ties, run around, and they were looking at their watch, because he was late for doing a promo or whatever. And he sat down and they just he made sure that my dad, felt comfortable with it, that he answered every question, and tears for Hulk and Dad.
Yeah.
But it was, it was just so nice and it stuck out. I know my mom will always bring that up. I'm sure when I talk to her next and we talk about Hulk dying, I'm sure she will bring that up, because he just sat down there and he was just so cool. And what a thing. And my dad ended up, I think my dad got the operation and then lost the remote control.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, see, no, and it's just it's cool he was able to make that connection and help your dad out in that way. And take the time out of because you always think Hogan's got to be getting pulled in all these different directions and everything like that from, obligations that he has and people and fans and whatever it may be. And it's just oh, man.
And speaking of which, as long as I'm telling Hulk Hogan stories here, my debut in TNA in January of 2010, pretty sure it was January, Hogan, I just came in, Hogan and Bischoff were there, Val Venus was there. It seemed like they were trying to use former WWE guys. They had live Monday night. I think it was Monday night. They were competing with WWE. It was either Monday. Yeah, it had to be Monday.
It was Monday. It was Monday. Yep.
Yeah, because we would do live Monday, and then Tuesday we would film next week's, and then take 2 weeks off. First it was live everything, and then I think it went to that. But anyway, every 2 weeks I would go there and just work for 2 days. It was the easiest fucking schedule, especially after leaving the monotony of WWE's schedule that was killing me. And then this happened. But anyway, I was a big surprise and build that way. And I came in when Sting was in the ring and jumped off the top rope and kicked him. Rolling Thunder pinned him 1, 2, 3, and then he got the baseball bat whack, and he hit me, and I went down, and then man, just awkwardness. Like I'm selling. I'm like, I can't keep selling this. I hate it when people oversell shit. So I got back up. Wham! He hit me again, and I went back down. It's like, that's cool. I think I got to get up again, though. I'm like, where's Hulk at? And I kept feeding up. Wham! He'd hit me. Wham! He'd hit me again. I'd go down. I get everything I thought I could get out of it, And I was like, dude, my timing is saying I can't stay down. In fact, I remember watching on TV before I got there something that I critiqued a lot. I hated it as a performer. It was something that I saw right before I went there, and it was Ken Anderson and I think Kurt Angle. And Anderson was on the mic, or he was reaching for the mic or something, not in the ring, but somewhere in the stands, I guess. And Kurt Angle waffled him with a chair in the back, not in the head, in the back. Mm-hmm. One hit, whop. And he went down and he sold it like he was shot behind the ear. And I just being being in that competitive state of mind and critiquing wrestling like I do, I remember hating that because he just stayed down. Kurt put him up on his shoulder, walked him down to the fucking ring, dropped him in. He was just out. And I remember going, from a chair to the back? Anyway, that's just two different performers' perspectives of how they would do something like that. He might have been like, boom, that's all I need. I'll sell the fuck out of it. But for me, boom, I kept getting the bat, kept getting back up. Bat, finally Hulk comes down and I can roll the fuck out of there. And then afterwards, when I saw Hulk, I said, bro, I thought you forgot about me out there. He said, what?
You didn't even know he was late?
No. Didn't even sell it. I said, I thought you forgot about me out there. He goes, no, I didn't forget about you. And I was like, okay. And I just walked off. And I don't think we've ever said anything about it again after that.
He was in catering. He's like, I'll go out when
I'm done.
I'll be fine.
I talked to someone's dad about the back operation. If you look at it that way, might have been doing some good and not worrying about the timing. But yeah, I was just like, all right, kind of ruined my debut, my first appearance, and kind of everyone's gonna hate that I was brought in to get the shit beat out of me. But bro, I took one for Hulk Hogan. I'll do it again. That's how I thought about it. That's exactly. I was like, I took one for Hogan. No worries.
No props. What was I gonna? When you first I know you don't get. We talked about this last week with you and Taker being in the ring, and you're not getting starstruck. Or this was a couple weeks ago, but not getting starstruck. But was Hogan kind of an exception in certain ways since he was such an iconic figure, and you grew up watching him?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would. We were friends, hang out, but inside, yeah, part of me was always like, fuck, man, that's the top of the world for 14-year-old RVD. If I could have known that I was gonna make it to this level, holy shit, I should be proud of myself or something, maybe, I don't know. And yeah, I would have been a soldier for him and done whatever he asked without asking. They were doing the fucking, here's an example. They were doing the documentary on him. Mm-hmm. I think it was HBO they called. And they wanted to talk to me about Hogan. And I was like, let me ask him about it. What's up? And I talked to him about it. I said, hey, I got a call that they are going to do this documentary on you, and they wanted to talk to me. And before I could say another word, he goes, "I'd rather you didn't do it." I was like, "What?" He's like, "I just assumed you didn't do it." And I was like, and I was thinking, well, fuck, this is going to be on HBO. It's going to be good exposure. I'll definitely be putting him over, talking good about him, you know. And he said they just want to. He was obviously already very aware of it, and he said they just want to dig up that that Gawker lawsuit with the sex case. They want to dig all that shit up again. And he said every time they dig it up, my phone doesn't ring for for several weeks. And I was like, all right then. I mean, I would talk good about you and everything because I really didn't do it. I said, all right, done. So I told them I can't do it. I said, well, they were going to give me $6,000. Can you cover that?
And then
he said, whatever you need, brother.
You got it.
But then you didn't do it, and then they gave the job to Ric Flair. Ric Flair did it.
Oh, okay. It was HBO, right? Or
I don't
remember that part. Yeah, but anyway, that'd be better anyway. But yeah, Soldier. What do you need done? You want to go whip the guy's ass? Okay, I'll do it.
You got it.
It's all cool. That's the answer to your question. Yes.
Okay.
He's the exception.
Yeah. That's because I figured because it was just like you grew up watching him, and he's just the household name that
he's a superhero, just like you both said.
Yeah. It's crazy. Hey, Maddie, thanks. He gifted a membership. We got another RVD TV.
Whoa, I forgot about that thing.
Welcome.
I got to promote that more. I'll get the word out of it.
Welcome.
Is there something? Welcome, Maddie. Marijuana. But what about my? What do I need to do? And is there something?
I mean, we could maybe think of some stuff. I was thinking like at some points we could do like exclusive clips behind the scenes, like where we just chat. We pick a topic and we just talk about it for a couple minutes. Maybe that's something we can do.
After the 2 hour and 15 minutes.
I know, right after we cover all this stuff.
Everyone's falling asleep. We'll say, if you want to hear the next 10 bonus minutes.
It's 2 minutes.
To lunch.
Huh?
We can pick him up in a limo and take him to lunch.
But my idea, so Rob, I literally did this too this week. My idea was I was going to watch your matches from ECW, and then I was just going to talk about them and review them, like for behind the scene clips, and give my thoughts on
cool.
something like that. So I watched your first ever ECW match again with Axel Rotten, and it was great stuff. But that'll be my first clip I do behind for the match.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was intimidated, by that crowd, and then I was like, oh my God, they love this fucking freak with a barbed wire baseball bat. What am I doing? How am I going to win this crowd over? And I'm so glad that I learned to put it all together in front of those people, because that's how I felt the first night, And I remember telling you, like, I did like a couple kicks or whatever, and he does the Karate Kid thing, oh, good job. And they popped at that. I'm like, whoa, I'm not the fucking baby face here. Oh my God.
But you turned the crowd though, too. You turned the crowd later on in the match. Like the crowd started cheering for you and stuff like that. It was neat. It was really, really neat. So I'll review it, and that'll be some behind the scenes stuff. So that'll be a fun thing to do. But thank you, Maddie, for gifting membership. If you guys want to sign up, hit the join button down below on rvdtv.com, and you can get the membership, and you can do emojis, and I'll come up with some other. Oh, you get clips early too. You get the clips early, and you get the episodes early too. I turn this to private after it's done, and so you can tune into the channel there. Maddie also says, "Smoke them if you got them for Hulk Hogan, brother. Smoke them, dude. Yeah.
That works for me, brother.
Yeah, dude. Definitely worked for me, dude." Hey, Katie, do you have a favorite Hogan story that you get when you got to interact with him?
My favorite was when, every time we'd see him at WWE, he'd see me and then look at Rob. He's like, I see why you're behaving. And my favorite memories was like what I said earlier, going there for my birthday party and how welcoming he was, and taking us to his house and seeing his gym and partying in the backyard. And I have a video of it on Rob's phone where he was saying Katie Mania, and I was dancing in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. And Nick and Tana's wedding the night before, like reception dinner, was really cool getting to hang out with him and Sky. And that was the last night I ever drank too much. Well, now I don't drink at all because I'm pregnant, but that night I drank a lot, but I just felt the energy was so good. I couldn't control myself. And it was great seeing him and at the Nick and Tana's wedding. So those are my favorite memories with him.
Yeah, that's some good stuff too. And,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, when you're partying like that and you get in the mode, it's hard to get out of that mode because you're having such a good time.
Exactly. That's what I told
Hogan too. Adds a little incentive.
Yeah, I was like, the last time I ever drank that much was at Hogan's Hangout. Like,
yeah.
After that, I slowed down my drinking because I was like, okay, I need to control myself. And then now I'm pregnant. There's no alcohol or smoke.
Plus, we were dealing with some bad news and shit around that time. You know.
Yeah.
Before that, so I let your leash go a little bit out there, a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what? Like I forgot about this, but when I was doing the Hulk Hogan's Championship Celebrity Wrestling, one time Hulk, we were talking about The Secret, and he was saying that my evil ex should use that to heal because she had the cancer.
Yeah. And
everyone knew about it. And he's talking about it and saying, you know, how you get into the attitude of gratitude and then, the power of love and boom, boom, boom. And then he sent a guy, a lackey in a car to go to the bookstore to buy a copy of The Secret.
So nice.
And bring it back so he could give that to her. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was so nice. He really, I feel like if he liked you, it was like you were his family.
Yeah. It's hard to consider him an old man, you know.
Yeah.
Like when back to that conversation, you know, we're like, well, what is old? And and I mean, I'm sure you think of him as being old, especially if you're in your 20s or whatever. But when I think about when we're talking to him and just how coherent and with it and his vibe and everything, it's like it wasn't like how you're talking to someone at old folks home.
No, that's why I was like, he was like a young party boy. It felt like.
Oh.
He had even up till a couple of weeks ago or whatever when I last saw current stuff of him, he felt like he was 50 something. That's the vibe he gave off. That is totally the vibe he gave off. Like a 50. It's it was remarkable.
I mean, his back bothered him a lot more, but I mean, you kind
of had to walk with someone. Like the great Khali, has to walk with someone and kind of lean on him a little bit.
Yeah,
that's how he walked.
Oh, that's tough.
I wonder how many back surgeries he had. Is that something you can look up?
So somebody in the chat said that Hogan had 8 back surgeries.
Oh.
So
I thought it was going to be way more, but maybe that was something way back in 2000.
If I were to guess, I thought it was going to be 12 or something. So yeah, I'm going to take it in just to see back surgery. Let's see how it pops up. But Maddie, you gifted another membership. Thanks, brother. Dang. Really appreciate it. Holy smokes.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, man.
Memberships?
He gifted 2 memberships out there. So somebody else gets somebody gets them in the chat. So shout out.
Missing these clips, these early clips.
I know. I got to start getting some clips up there now. Better start cooking. Instagram, a wrestling historian, asked this. Thanks for the Canadian $2. What if Hulk Hogan joined ECW after leaving WCW?
That would have put us on the map for sure.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Hogan in ECW?
You could have booked bigger arenas. I mean, that's how much value he had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could have fucking upped the ante on everything. Increase the value of the company like that. Yeah.
I wonder how Heyman would have used him. Paul would have used him in that.
Yeah.
That would have been really interesting to find out.
There's really there's a level of eliteness that very few people reach in different platforms. You know what I mean? Don't do it, Hulk. Okay.
He was thinking about doing a frog splash to outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Get back down, brother. Get back down.
Whoa, nasty bump. Whoa, no sell. Fucking young
How
kids
did you
today.
get you?
That was AEW RVD.
Hey, you did this.
Yeah, I did that Axel Rotten thing. That's funny.
Remember in New Orleans when you said,
Yeah, I do. Damn. Shit. Did I start talking about something?
We were talking Hogan and ECW, and now like
Oh,
Heyman might have used them, and then you were elaborating on some of the stuff.
I was just gonna say, about the elite level, that what he made. Let's like for boxing, Mike Tyson was worth so much money that the actual cities that he goes to make money, like the Olympics or something. And I'm not saying as much as the Olympics. I'm just saying that, like in Nevada, they couldn't afford to expel him when he bit the ear off of Evander Holyfield, and it was because they make so much money. The local economy, like, depended on his fights, and it's like very few people reach that level of fucking stardom, and it's like a very elite level. And Hulk, was the guy that was there for wrestling. Maybe it was a long time ago, maybe not that long ago, and I don't know, maybe Cena, some of the Roman Reigns, maybe, I don't know. It's like, but a lot of times the credit for the house doesn't necessarily go to the right spot. Like whoever is in the main event wants to think, well, I drew this house. They can put it on their record. Look, I main evented, the pay-per-view that sold the most buys. But a lot of times that's really just a coincidence, and it's about other matches, or it's about the whole brand, or whatever, So that's all perspective too. But what I'm saying is Hulk Hogan was the drawing power for wrestling. And I never went anywhere near, that kind of level myself. So I'm always fascinated and always going to look up to him like the superhero that he was.
Yeah, right. Oh, man, yeah, he would have been such a neat element in ECW during that time. Holy smokes. But we have Maddie.
Memories of WrestleMania 3, the Pontiac Silverdome, a lot of that really was to see Hulk Hogan versus Andre.
Absolutely. 100%, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and you got like the great match with Steamboat and Savage, but like the big draw was Hogan and Andre.
Yeah. So if they want to take credit for that draw, for pulling that house in, I'm not going to argue with them there.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't either.
But a lot of times it's not necessarily about the main event. You get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Maddie, another icon who passed away was Ozzy Osbourne. He says memories of Ozzy.
Wait, with Ozzy and Hulk Hogan, of course, and Theo Huxtable, all in the same week, not long after, still in the wake of Sabu. I think, there's going to be a lot of sad fans. It's a time for sadness, depression, all that fun stuff. So let's just hope that it stops, because there's also a very good chance that it might not. So what you got to do, and this is RVDology.
What you going to do, brother?
You got to recover. If you're letting yourself grieve, and you're letting yourself be weak anytime, and you're feeling like, what, I need to I feel like being depressed or whatever right now, just remember, recover as soon as you can, because there's more coming. There's always more coming. It's just a matter of when.
And when I was really depressed at the beginning of the year, remember the acupuncture lady said, just let all the tears out instead of trying to hold it in, like when you feel it in your throat, because it releases endorphins.
Oh, yeah.
So a good cry helps if you feel like you need to cry.
Yeah.
It calls the Mighty Morphins.
Yeah, the Mighty Morphins.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it is. I think it helps to cry too. once in a while.
Because I'd try to hold it in and then my throat would like hurt, like physically have pain in my throat. And then she's like, just let it out when you feel like you have to, and you feel better.
Yeah, let it go. And it's just like
Yeah.
you're just going through a rough time, and that's what your body wants to do too, and your emotions want to do.
Yeah. Rob and Ozzy Osbourne were inducted into the Hall of Fame the same year.
Wait, you guys were?
Yeah, he's class of 2021 too.
Wow, I didn't know that. Because I knew Rob was inducted around that time, but I didn't know. I knew Ozzy was a Hall of Famer, but I didn't know when he got inducted. So that's wild.
And he's on the cover of the famous High Times magazine that RVD's on the cover of.
Wow. How about that too?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to interact with Ozzy, Rob?
Never.
Never, no.
No, I met the kids. I met his wife, but I've never met Ozzy.
Oh wow. Yeah.
When she met his wife, she said, "Do you know Triple H?"
Yeah.
You know,
Triple H.
you know Triple H. Here's a good question. Brock asked this one. Brock Sumner.
Hey,
Thanks for
Brock.
the 269. He says, "What do you hope to leave as your legacy?"
279. That's a fun number.
Yeah. What
He's leaving 2 twin girls as his legacy.
Hey. Yeah.
I always ask this. Doesn't basically your legacy is basically just how people remember you, right?
Basically.
I think so.
Is there more to it than that?
Yeah, basically. No, I think that's basically it. It's like how people remember you. The legacy you left.
Yeah. Well, I hope that that the legacy I leave is, besides being considered a very talented athlete ahead of my time, I hope to inspire people to be themselves. Don't worry about conforming to make other people happy. Build yourself, your own set of values that you can believe in and stand by in an uncompromising, unapologetic manner. And I think that's been me. Hopefully that's what I leave behind.
That's you.
That's a damn good legacy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Damn good one.
damn good one. Somebody also added that Roddy Hogan, the enhancement star, passed away. Where he looked like Hulk Hogan, but his name was Roddy Hogan. Do you remember him at all?
Oh,
I know there was like a fat guy in the audience that used to look like him. I don't know if that's him.
Yeah, maybe.
There was also a couple other wrestlers too last week that I didn't know them, but there was 2 that popped up in the news. If you want to look that up, just for honorable mention, they both worked for. I think they both worked for NXT at one time.
Yeah. Let me take
there
a
was
look.
one that worked for WWE, and the one he was shot, but we don't know him.
Yeah. What's Knuckles Madsen? Kevin Nickel. He was known as Knuckles Madsen. He passed away at 41 after being shot in Arkansas.
Oh, he's the guy that he does this, right?
Yeah. Yes, that was him. Yeah, I see a picture of him right now. Nickel ads. Wow. So how about that? Yeah. Shout out.
And then within days there was another one.
Trying to figure out the
I don't know
other
if it was before or after that guy.
wrestler passed. I'm probably gonna get Hogan articles, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'll be sure to do something. I'll take a look and see what I can find, and I'll.
Do you remember how the other one did?
No. Shoot. But yeah, I'm just getting Hulk Hogan articles right now. But yeah, very sad week and a sad few days for pop culture icons and wrestling and everything. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Definitely grieve how you guys want to celebrate the life of Hogan and everything that he did, and just keep everything in consideration, I suppose, too. What else?
Nice to people while they're here.
Yes, exactly.
I'm sure Cauliflower Alley Club coming up. I'm sure they're gonna squeeze some time in to talk about fucking Immortal Hulk Hogan, but they already had 3 guys that lined up. One of them I didn't. Yeah, one of them I
The
didn't.
memorial
there it
page.
is.
Yeah.
Mongo, right?
Oh, Mongo, yeah. Mm-hmm. I got the little program over there.
Steve Mongo, McMichael, and then Sabu. And I'm not sure.
Here, let me pop that up. Yes. Mongo. Who is that one on the end?
Yeah, there's names written there, so it's got to be one of those guys.
Nick Romero?
Pull it up.
Hisashi Shima, I think it is.
Okay.
He would have been 90. I don't know. Is that right? I don't know if that's not.
90. That's a good age to live till.
That's a real good.
Especially for a wrestler.
Yeah, right? Man.
And then I don't know. You said you think that's Hisashi Shima?
Maybe not, because if he was 90, I think that's that looks like a photo from like the early 90s or the late 80s.
Yeah, but all right. So anyway, also honorable mention, Salman Hashimokov and Mick Romero, Mick Vasey, and Ivan Manson and Ryan Wood are some other wrestlers that are listed here. So I'm sure that we will be talking about that. That's the 18th through the 20th, I think, of August. So lots of stuff between now and then. But that will be Sabu's 4th memorial, if you want to. Cause it's not really a memorial, probably, but
celebration of life.
We'll do a good tribute for him there for sure. And yeah, if you guys can make it, go to the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion. They're a great time, and it's a really nice job there. Of, it's a very communal.
You get the newsletter? Is that what, or no?
You get the newsletter. They sent me one with Abdul the Butcher on it.
Yeah, we just got ours.
Yeah.
Last
You got too? Yeah, I got to open it up and take a look at it and stuff. Yeah. If you guys are able to attend, it's in Las Vegas at the Plaza. I believe it takes place at. So
on a positive note, we had 2 ultrasounds this week, and our babies are measuring perfect, and their heartbeats sound great.
Awesome. Hell yeah. That's great. So that's got to be. Do you like doing the ultrasounds? It's got to be pretty exciting when you do that.
Yeah, each one is getting more exciting. It's still like scary, but in the beginning it was super scary because it's like, are they still there? Like, because I haven't had like any symptoms, and it's been a very easy pregnancy, so I would be worried, like, are y'all even there? Mm-hmm. And then each time we hear their heartbeat and see them growing, it's just I'm getting more and more confident and more excited. And today it was like we could see, even just compared to like 2 days ago when we saw them, it was like we could see so much detail, like their eyes, their nose, their mouth opening, like their little hands moving around, and even their little legs and feetsies.
It's going like that.
One was even hopping, like already jumping in there, like doing like the RBG.
That's the baby loser.
That's how it's going, right?
Yeah, it's so cool seeing like them just growing and looking more like, because it was just, it looks like a dot. It's like they're there, but now it's like we're seeing like their features more, and we can see their personalities.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah,
it's
magical. Yeah,
man, I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
It's awesome. You're welcome. Let's hit out a couple of these super chats real quick, and then we'll close it out. Maddie says, cheap plug. Moo Man says hello. That's his dog. He's watching. Shout out to Moo.
Aww. Lovey says hello to Moo Man.
Yeah. So there was a great pic you posted of Lovey.
Yeah. She's like, what are you doing to me, man?
Say hi. All the little doggies watching.
The dogs are checking out. Like, what's the deal here?
Hi.
Barbie, you want to say hi too?
Say hi to Moo Man, Barbie.
Barbie? Get Barbie up there.
Hi to
Barbie D.
Barbie
D.
She's looking for Rob. Bandstand
excited them.
Yeah, me too.
RVD wrestled DDP, and Sabu was my favorite. Would you wrestle DDP, Rob?
Did you?
I would love to, and I never have.
Wow.
Yeah, we've never worked together.
Boy, that would have been a great match too.
Yeah.
And he was at our wedding and we were at his wedding, and he's so inspiring. Like, he
Yes.
deserves the Nobel Peace Prize of wrestling.
True.
Absolutely, he does. Yeah, he's got to be inducted into like all the Hall of Fames, basically.
Yeah.
It's like when anybody goes
Yeah.
through some shit, DDP's there to help.
He's
Yeah.
doing some good things.
Yeah, he is.
Did you see too? He helped Devon lose like 80 pounds.
I don't doubt
No,
it.
I
Sounds
didn't
like
know
some
that.
shit he'd do.
That's
Right?
awesome.
That's great.
He's a good guy, damn
He is.
it.
That's so much respect for him. And he was helped. He helped Buck Bagwell too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have we even talked about him? Why-
No, we haven't talked about Buff and him.
Man,
him.
So when Maven's video came out and first released and went public, and I'm sure everybody watched it, man. I just want to say that I was glued to it, watching it, and of course, I don't think you can watch it without investing your feelings into it. He's amazing. He came across so inspiring and motivated to be going through what Marcus Bagwell was going through, and to be so optimistic and positive. I'm glad that he was able to share that on video with everybody. I hope everybody was affected by it in the same way that I was. I tweeted like he's the baby face of the week or something. Fuck, baby face of the year forever. That's just incredible. Fuck. We know a few people that fucking have had that happen, and I always feel like, man, if I was in that position, I feel like I would want to, if there's any chance at all, I'd want to try to save my leg. But then Bagwell's breaking it down like, well, there's so many of these surgeries and so much of this, and then only a 20% chance that the leg would survive it. And then if it does, it's going to have like a rod through it. And it's going to be compromised to this and that. And he was just like, you know what? It's going to be better. And you could tell he wasn't going back and forth. He was just like, boom, let's do this. And wow, how inspiring it to be so positive and optimistic dealing with that. And, my heart goes out to Marcus Bagwell as well. It's another thing that's been very emotional for everybody to see happen recently.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Marcus is such he's such a positive person. He was at the Cauliflower Alley thing last year, and like he got inducted into it, and gave a great speech, and his wife Stacy and everything. Shout out, they're just a good, loving couple, and it's such a tough thing, but yeah, he's keeping a very, very positive attitude about it all.
Yeah, and talking about something so open and honestly that's so like difficult to talk about.
Right.
So matter of fact.
Yeah.
I admired his strength for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Hopefully everybody does, and hopefully everybody got a good positive rub off of him, because man, it makes me not want to keep up with him, and I hope he heals up.
Me too. And yeah, he's keeping that positive attitude too. That's it.
Yeah.
Spurs out for him and stuff. Absolutely. Bash Nagata, thanks for the $5. Says, one of my earliest memories was seeing Hulk versus Killer Khan. Wow, at the old St. Paul Civic Center in 1987. That's how old I am. R.I.P. Hulk.
Yeah. I remember that match as well. Yeah.
Do you? Oh man.
Killer Khan used the green mist. I'm like 95% sure. And then he did this knee off the top rope. That was his move.
Oh,
yeah. But he didn't hit his move that night because Hulk didn't, get beat. But I remember thinking like, wow, he moved in that position quick, Killer Khan, because he was an impressive heel to watch. But I remember realizing, even as a fan, that they brought him in and pushed him to the top like real quick. And they had this program. That's what they would do. WWE. They had this WWE Superstars, WWE Challenge. And what else? A couple other weekly shows. The talk show with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, primetime, something like that. Anyway, and the Saturday Night's Main Event, which was like one week a month, and they had a program. They would bring somebody in, have them fight jobbers on both the TV shows, have them start squashing everybody so they can showcase themselves, and then wrestle someone that's got a little power behind their name as well to make it mean something, and then boom, let's see how they do against the champion. That was their formula. Hulk always needed a fresh heel to work with every Saturday Night's Main Event or every other one, or however they were doing it, because the angles could last different lengths. But it was definitely a formula machine, and I got sucked up in it as a fan.
Yeah. Hogan slaying the dragons basically and stuff like that. Slaying them dragons. Za, Sand Fan, thanks for the $2. Hey Rob, indica or sativa?
I get asked this a lot, huh?
Yeah, you get asked this a lot.
Yeah. I prefer a sativa of the two, but everything has its time and place, So if I'm just wanting to sleep, I'm jet lagged, I want to sleep it off, heal up, then give me an indica. If I want to function, give me a sativa. My favorite overall is more of a hybrid, like a sativa dominant hybrid.
Oh.
I don't like to be sleepy when I don't want to be sleepy. It's something that I fight all day, which is, why I used to caffeine myself to death, thinking I was doing a good thing. I was thinking, I think it burns fat anyway, and you can find enough articles to support whatever you want, But with the high blood pressure, it's not something that you want to do is have a lot of caffeine.
Yeah, I don't want that too much caffeine for sure. Maddie, thanks for the $5. Dom, are you going to beat your bro for his belt? No, I'm not. I don't plan on it. He's the high stakes champion right now, and he just won it, so I don't want to upset him or humiliate him.
Don't embarrass him like that.
I don't want to embarrass him.
And Maddie, I think I sent him a message on Only Wrestlers, but I'm talking about coming to Australia, so I'll keep you posted on but I'm not anywhere near ready to wrestle, so we'll give it a few weeks and revisit the idea.
Oh heck yeah, Maddie, keep your eyes peeled. He says, has RVD bumped into old man Sting? Did you see Sting with the beard?
Yeah. The picture that we have, the beard, right?
I don't know.
I think so, but either I don't know if I talked to him or just walked by his room and waved at him or something. But yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it looks cool.
It's a neat look. It's a different look.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like that motherfucker has some different ass looks.
Yeah,
right? I saw him with like a big action figure set, and it has like 3 different Stings. And that looks so fucking cool. And now throw a 4th one. He's like a wizard now.
He's like a wizard. It's Wizard Sting. It's Wizard Sting.
Awesome. Doesn't look comfortable for me. I hate having the hair on my face. I hate it when my neck starts itching. Just even. But
here it is.
Looks cool though.
Oh, you have found it?
He does have it. He has a goatee thing.
But he's got a big ass beard.
Oh, okay.
The big
now.
That
was a picture on too. So he grew it since then.
Oh yeah. It's like long.
This ear's like just a goatee.
In case anyone's wondering how long it grow.
Well, this picture was a year ago. Well, it was June 30th, 2024.
Oh, okay. So
in 12 months, you can have a wizard's beard if you have the hormones of a stinger.
Of a Viking.
The stinger. Mason, thanks for the $2. How did you end up training with Ultimate Warrior?
Oh, righty. Well, that happened through a mutual associate friend. So this dude, name is Mr. Andrew Wright. He's the author of Booker T's first book.
Oh, okay.
And I think he did Road Warrior animals book. And anyway, I met him in England at this convention, and he was there with the Hardy Boys, and at least Matt. I'm not sure if Jeff was there, but either way, man, this was a long time ago too. But he was filming Matt and the Hardy Boys because they had their own reality show online, and so he pitched it to me, you know, and said, you know, they charge memberships and they got this many thousand people paying every month, and they just, you know, they fuck around at their house on the property, and they do this and that. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to try that. That sounds cool. And that thereby started RVD TV.
Oh.
Yes, which at first he was editing, or no, someone else was editing, his partner. And then I ended up taking over and editing it myself, and we were always trying to improve the website and trying to keep up with technology to have it the best way. And anyway, he was also doing a documentary with Ultimate Warrior at that time. Mm-hmm. And so he called me one time and said, or maybe he told me in person. I don't remember if it was a phone call. Now that I think about it, I'm picturing in my head. But either way, I think it was a call. But he told me that Ultimate Warrior was interested in working out with me. He wanted me to train him. He's not been in the ring in 10 years, and he's got a match coming up in I think it was Africa with Orlando Jordan, and I wrestled for that company because I remember Orlando. Oh, that was Rikishi's company. That anyway, that part's not important. I was just like, what? You know, like what are you talking about? And he's saying, well, you know, he'll come to you to LA if you can find a ring that will let us work out in it. And anyway, I was like, well, yeah, you know, Mike, that'd be awesome. I got conditions. I want to be able to film it, you know, and I'll make an episode for RVD TV. That would be huge, you know, and it'd be an honor, everything. And he agreed to it. And I remember asking Rick Bassman, because Rick Bassman was in charge of the ring by the airport on El Segundo. And he was like, Ultimate Warrior, sure. He said Ultimate Warrior can pay. I'd happily charge him just like I charge anybody else to use the ring. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound very good. But they had a history. In fact, Rick Bassman actually found Sting and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't he the same guy that found Cena too, or Cena trained him?
What? Yeah. He got an eye.
Look at that. Hmm?
Victoria.
Oh, wow.
Tom Howard.
Was Samoa Joe there? I think Samoa Joe.
Yes, sir. Yep. UPW. Mikey Henderson, but people probably don't know. I don't think he's gone on to do TV. Is he alive? I hope he's alive. Anyway, and probably naming some other people too. But anyway, that ring wasn't going to work. He was going to charge him. He wasn't going to go for that, whatever. And then, but there was a few rings around town, you know, and in about an hour 45 minutes away in San Bernardino, Jesse Hernandez had his school of hard knocks, not hard knocks. It doesn't matter what it's called. But Bill Anderson was from there, and I think they trained Warrior there. Anyway, he was happy to have me there, and it worked out. You know, we coordinated. I went and picked up Ultimate Warrior, and Andrew wasn't even in the car. I don't think it was just me and Medium Rob. Me and Medium Rob. I don't know. There was one more person. It might have been Mellow Matt. I can't remember. It was one of my clique, not one of his. But anyway, I picked him up from the airport, LAX. Yeah. Picked him up, and we went to we stopped by Chris Nowinski's and recorded an RVD TV episode talking about the power of the mind.
Yeah.
And we went to the school and we worked out. I put him through my stretch, which really, that takes a long time.
Yeah.
After an hour of stretching, nobody wanted to do anything. They were like, oh, all right, I got to get going now. But he ran the ropes a few times. There wasn't much of me actually training him.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to, by example, say like, dude, like you need to be, let me show you. And I would like imitate the Ultimate Warrior, bouncing off the road. You need to be that. That's what you are. You're a ball of energy, and it was more about that, but he wanted me to bump a few times for him, whatever. It was not, it wasn't really extensive. And that is where I shot the video too, where I got the Sharpies.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That he didn't know what I was gonna do. I was like, here, just come in and interrupt me, and I'm just gonna do you. You know what I mean? What are you gonna say? I don't know. Whatever comes to me. I was like something about in the belly of the beast. It just worked out. I took him back to the airport. He had another flight, and he went back to Arizona.
Wow, how about that then? Whoa, what
It was only one time, and then it got out. Like I was training him, like we were spending a lot of time together. In fact, it was, like an hour of stretching, maybe an hour of running around the ring a little bit, and then, filming other stuff.
We did something similar with Kelly.
Oh.
That she trained with us, and she
That's right.
reached
I forgot
out
that
and
too.
asked Rob to go over stuff, and we just it was one day of training, but she was getting ready for something. The Santino brothers, we went and used their ring.
Oh yeah.
Is that based on New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, when Kelly, she hadn't wrestled in a while, and she was doing a return, I think for a Battle Royal or something.
Yeah, probably like a Royal Rumble or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in California.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we met her there at the ring and went over stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. That's
First
awesome.
off, the one thing I remember, but a lot of girls, when they hit the ropes, they're not getting anything off of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like when I hit it, I throw my weight into it, and it slingshots me by my ribs, and I get momentum off of it. A lot of times when girls go up to it, and then the hands are just down here by their side, and they just kind of like lean back into it, and then they start running again, like from zero. So you didn't really get anything off running the ropes. You're just hitting it because you think you're supposed to.
We went over running the ropes a lot.
Yeah.
But those ropes didn't hurt. The WWE ropes hurt so bad.
Do they?
Yeah. So I feel like I don't know, it's probably different for girls' anatomies and guys' anatomies. Like you have so much padding and muscle back there, so it's not like hurting your bones. But if you're a smaller girl, those ropes are not forgiving.
I
also went in. I remember one time just popped in my head now. I'm thinking, who else did I help work out, or help train or whatever? And I remember one time going to Rick Bassman's school when it was somewhere else, I think Huntington Beach, and he wasn't there. But I went there to work out with Mike Bell. But Cena was there, and who else was there? Chris Masters.
Oh.
That's the first time I really remember seeing Chris. And his mom was there, and it was like his mom supported him so much. She'd be in the chair, during the whole workout, and when he's doing good, she'd be clapping. That's it, baby. Good job, baby.
That's what kind of mom I'm gonna be.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Haunter1 says, thanks for the $5. Did the ultrasound show future tag team champions? Maybe they take after their dad. All the best, Rob and Katie.
Yeah, they were already practicing. Rob was one of them was moving their arms, and Rob said, "Are they doing push-ups in there?" And then we saw one bouncing her legs, she was in the sack, bouncing off of it. So they're already getting in their workouts.
They're getting ready.
And then on the screen, it said that Saba was good at doing the headlocks.
He saw the word headlock on there. He's like, look, they're already doing headlock.
Might have been a doctor's name or something, but it was on there like 4 times. I was like, she's doing headlocks. And she's got offers from EPW and AUE, whatever that is.
He was making all the doctor's terms into like wrestling terms.
Wrestling terminology.
Yeah, they're training and they're ready to get to be the tag team champions. WWE Nepo babies.
The Nepo babies. Thomas V, we only got a couple more here, says Mania 18, the atmosphere after Hogan and Rock. Do you remember that? What the atmosphere was like? It was just electric.
After? No, I would really like to rewatch that one though.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's on YouTube or where I find it. I know I have the DVD, but I don't have a DVD player. But I don't know if I told you, but I have like every pay-per-view from WWE when I was there. They would give me a copy of it, and I have all the pay-per-views from my whole run all still in plastic because I never opened them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to rewatch that. I don't remember. I just remember I really felt like I was seeing something special when I was watching it.
Oh my
and I
gosh.
was thinking like wow, to have that much. Sheik said one time when I was just starting out, he said one day you're going to get it, everything is going to click. And he said, you're going to know. And he said, when you want everybody to stand up, you're going to know how to make them all stand up. If you want them all to sit back down, you'll know how to do that. If you want them to cry, if you want them to laugh, you're going to have all that power in your hand. And I remember I was so green. I was just like, wow, that sounds amazing. I would love to have that. Yeah. And that's the best way I can describe what I remember from the Hulk and Rock face-off was fucking, I'm fortunate to see this master fucking class right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's available too. It is up on YouTube. You can
cool.
watch.
You probably never seen it, right?
Yeah.
And but I know Hulk says like he changed everything or whatever. I don't know if I wonder, but I don't know. But I don't. I mean, I know Rock was super over, but he was fucking the immortal Hulk Hogan. So
in Toronto
that
too.
Was the test was like, I know you're over, but are you that over?
Take a look at that. Hogan got the crowd on his side. That's for sure.
Someone's singing the Hulk Hogan song in the comments, and I've been singing it in my head all day.
I bet. That's crazy too. The guy Rick Derringer passed away this year too, a couple months ago.
Oh, that sang that.
Yeah, the sang it. Same guy. So, wow, just wow. I think this is the last one. Somebody just says, "Y'all going to SummerSlam? Congratulations! Thanks."
Thank you. We're
FC.
gonna be at WrestleCon SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we'll be signing autographs, meeting friends.
I'll be there.
Baby.
Maybe go into the city, New York City.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Wale Mania. We got to put some thought into that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wale Mania is the 31st?
Yeah. So it's the day before we were planning on going.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was doing a Wally Mania at SummerSlam.
WrestleCon is the 1st and 2nd, and we're only signing on the 2nd, FYI.
It's the same thing as Wale Mania, but this time this one's called Summer Bash.
Oh, Summer Bash. Oh, Bret Hart's going to be
there. And normally Wale appears, performs, but now this one, Action Bronson's going to perform.
Oh, dang. That should
so
be
I was
good.
like, I don't even like partying now that, like, as I'm sober, it's like not as fun being social and I'm always tired, but that's one party I'd go to.
Oh, hell yeah. No, Wally Mania is a good time.
Yeah, that is.
One of the blast.
Is Cardi B hosting SummerSlam?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've heard she's going to have something to do with it.
You love Cardi B.
I do. And I love Jelly Roll. They're both going to be there.
Oh, okay.
Jelly Roll got himself in shape. Oh, we talked about that last week.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both going to be there.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to go to the actual show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. MetLife Stadium is going to happen. Going down.
I love that when me and Rob go to the shows and sit ringside.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah.
I know.
This is the only time I'd be able to enjoy a wrestling show with him.
Yeah. I'm always like, I want Rob to climb over the apron and get in the ring.
That's what everyone says.
Get him involved there. Make it happen.
One of these times.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not jumping nowhere.
Ain't jumping nowhere right now.
Well, still several weeks away from that, I'm afraid.
Yes. Well, hey, let's get a few plugs in here. Be sure to check out rvd420.com. Get some Greek glass, some good stuff that they have over there.
Speaking of y'all, we're gonna be at Champs tomorrow with Greek
Oh,
Glass.
yeah. Here, let's
We'll be there at Champs. It's awesome. The trade show here in Vegas.
Yes.
Booth 1100. We're gonna be there tomorrow.
Be sure to check it out tomorrow if you're around that area. Good time. The Greek glass people are good folks.
They are.
Folks, they are. And also go to Only Wrestlers. Sign up for onlywrestlers.com. Get your membership there. Check out so many wrestlers on that page too. You guys are just growing, and you get the New Orleans show was awesome from what I heard.
It was.
Yeah, so be sure to check that out. Sign up now. Get your account going. Got to give a shout out to Get Blitz too, one of our sponsors. Get 15% off. You got Mickey Ray Sinatra and Courtney. They're based out of Maryland, but you can order online. Go to get-blitz.com. Use promo code RVD. Get Lit Aid. Nano-infused THC syrup. It's legal in all 50 states, so check it out there. Anything else? Do you guys want to plug anything else before we go?
Y'all can follow me on Instagram, Katie Forbes, the number 4 real.
Yeah, Katie Forbes for real. You can follow Rob at The Real RVD on Instagram and on X. You can be sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to RVDTV.com, give a like whichever channel you're watching on. Like, support the channels out there, and help us all out. And so, man, but yes, rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. I'm happy I was able to share some stories and stuff with you guys and get your input, because you guys are really good friends with him, and it's great to see him. You share his positive energy. So that's
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Haven't forgot about the request, I guess, for Booker T. I'm going to reach out to him for next week. I just was too busy, never got around to it. And so, RVD cares about his fans. If I deliver with that, you guys are going to be impressed.
Yes.
It came from you.
Yes. That's right. Sucker.
Out to impress.
Hey, out to impress. Out to impress. Well, all good. Right, guys. We'll see you here next time here on One of a Kind with RVD. That's RVD, and that's KT. Right.